out there. What in the name of God are you doing, poacher?
What the hell are you talking about?
What are you doing here? Looking for your kill, are you poacher? That dead deer?
I'm travelling the province in the service of Sir Radzig Kabila.
Sir Radzig? Heavens! Begging you pardon. I didn't mean anything. All right. I suppose you're innocent after all.
I'm glad you saw sense. We'll just have to report it to someone. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it.
Be a bit more careful. Jesus Christ be praised.
I've got those hides you wanted.
Now that's what I call quality. That'll do me just fine. Here, you've earned a bit of coin.
Couldn't you use some hides?
I'm in need of boar hides, believe it or not. They don't make very good leather, but the cobbler uses it to make cheap shoes. And there's a lot of demand before autumn. Is there something you need? Someone there?
I've got those hides you wanted.
Now that's what I call quality. That'll do me just fine. Here, you've earned a bit of coin.
Couldn't you use some hides?
Aye, I've got an order from the monastery for hare hides. They make belts from them to ease backache. I shouldn't wonder if the old abbot wears one himself.
Do you know where I can buy and sell things?
Well, if it's food you need, go and ask in the kitchen. But if you want something else, I can't help. One of the villagers might know.
Do you know where I can buy and sell things?
Well, if it's food you need...
Do you know where I can...
Well, you're the...
Yes, that'll be me. Why?
The lady of the castle was asking after you. She wants to talk to you.
Ah, I'll go and see her then. Thank you.
Very well. Don't make her wait.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I have some trophies.
Show me. So many. My lad, you're like the smiting right hand of God.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot? Agree?
Come now. Just a little more and we have a deal. Agreed. Now, listen up. I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me. Jesus, look where you're going.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Is there anything interesting going on around these parts?
Interesting? Not really. Sad, more like. You know, I always liked the Neuhof horses best. They had, well, a spark to them. Old Smeal was killed in that raid, and
Damn. Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
God save, my lord. I hope things are peaceful in your fiefdom.
Peace? Peace is rare in these times. But right now I'm more troubled by politics than warfare.
What's wrong?
The monasteries stalled the purchase of stone and everything connected to the building project. And now I find out It's because of the quality of the stone blocks, or so they say. I don't believe a word of it. It looks like profiteering to me.
Profiteering? What's the monastery trying to accomplish?
To lower the price. What else? We've already given them a fair price, and they still delay with payment. Or worse.
Worse? You mean they'll stop paying completely?
You could put it that way. They're looking for an excuse to back out of the contract, and find another quarry where they'll be able to secure a more favorable deal.
What do they say is wrong with the stone?
Supposedly, there was an accident when one of the stone blocks broke loose, fell, and killed someone. But the quarrymaster swears by all the saints it isn't possible. He says he sends only the best stone, and I believe him. He's reliable and an experienced quarryman.
And is anyone dealing with the problem?
Well, my chamberlain is in charge of it, as always. But all he's done is send them a letter. He says putting more pressure on the monastery could provoke them. Those are his words.
So there's nothing else that can be done?
I don't know. I've been thinking about taking a more direct approach. But I expect the chamberlain won't even hear of it. He'll just keep on sending them polite letters and hoping that does the trick.
I could help with this.
Do you think this is a job for you? You aren't even in my service.
I do serve Sir Radzig. He knows he can rely on me when he needs me, and I've never let him down.
This is true. So do you want to go to Sasau and ask about the stone?
Yes, I'll do it.
Good. I'd like you to ask about the stone and keep your ears open. See if they aren't talking about another quarry.
I'll do my best. Hopefully they'll talk to me.
They will. You ride in my name, so don't forget to remind them of it.
Good health to you.
I heard that the monastery's causing problems.
Well, it may seem that way to someone who's unfamiliar with this specific case, but in fact, the situation is far more complex.
So they aren't buying less stone, and it isn't taking them longer to do everything.
Well, yes, these things are happening, of course, but it's hardly the first time. It's common practice. I've written them a courteous letter, and the matter will be settled again soon.
And what if they're looking for another quarry, with better stone at a better price?
That's ridiculous. Nothing but idle rumors. I haven't received an official complaint from the monastery, and so all is well. As I've said, we just need wait, and this will all be resolved.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
Well, I'll think it over.
God save. Can I help you with anything?
I heard you wanted to talk to me, my lady.
It's true. I need something from you.
How can I help?
My cousin, young Sophie, is going to be wed. It will be an entry into a new life, and I want everything to be perfect for her. I'm looking for a few things to give her as a gift, and you're going to find them for me.
My lady, why me?
Normally I'd let the Chamberlain take care of it, but he doesn't have any taste. I can't trust him with this. And I've been told no task is too challenging for you. Is that not true?
It will be my honor, my lady.
I need you to pick up an ornamental crown from Sasau for Sophie, wine from a merchant in Ratai, and a roan from the stable in Ujits.
Who am I supposed to pick up the wine from?
From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole region who can supply a genuinely good wine. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Here you go. That should be enough.
And the ornamental crown?
I had the engravers in Sasau make it, but now they've written to say it will take a while longer. That just won't do. The wedding is almost upon us, and I need it. Go and see Master Jeronim Slesky and pick it up.
You said a roan from Ujits.
Precisely. It's a beautiful animal. Wait till you see it. Dietrich said he'd ride it here himself, but I can already imagine how he'll end up killing himself on that horse. But you, so young and vigorous.
Who am I supposed to pick up the wine from?
From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole region who can... And believe me...
Wine, a roan, and a crown. I can handle that.
Thank you, Henry. I just wish there were others here I could trust so well.
My apologies, but could you tell me one more time?
I need you to pick...
Wine, a roan...
Thank you, Henry. I just wish... God bless.
What the hell are you doing?
I am at your service, Sir Knight.
Can we trade?
If you've got the coin.
Lily liver. You get what's for.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. So I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now, and nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Another thing about Lubosh.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked him much, but I wouldn't wish an end like that on any man.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen him around for a while. No idea where he was skulking.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
He was a loner. He didn't even have any mates in the tavern.
That's all. Thank you. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. But no one heard anything. An inscription in blood. Pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning. But who? And a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. An inscription in blood. Pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning. But who? And a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Another thing about Lubos.
What you doing here? Clear off quick, or be a bit more careful.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Leiper. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
That's all. Thank you.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I'm looking for the local group.
Well, you found him. What can I do for you?
The Lady Stephanie of Talmberg sent me. She said you have a roan ready for her.
Well... Chamberlain Dietrich said someone would come. We have him here, but if he's ready, I can't say. That miserable horse will let you saddle him and walk him around the courtyard, but as soon as someone sits on him, he goes completely wild.
That horse is supposed to be presented at a noble woman's wedding. It probably won't be appropriate if he makes a spectacle of his rider. Is there anything I can do?
Try asking Vashek. For some reason, that devil horse listens to him. Then take the horse with you. Dietrich's arranged everything.
I'd like to buy a horse.
Well now, have you seen our steeds?
Not yet.
Then go and have a look in the stables, so you know what you're buying. What is it?
I heard you have a way with the horse that unsaddles everyone else.
Yes. I suppose I do.
And how do you do it? How do you calm him down?
I'm good to him.
Listen, Vashek. I've been entrusted by the Lady of Talmberg. I need you to help me understand how to calm down that roan.
Lady Stephanie?
Then you know her.
She's a good person. She even talked to me once.
I know her too, and she was nice to me as well. Will you help me with the roan?
You have to... sing him his favorite song.
And which one would that be?
Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to my maiden so fair?
That's, interesting.
I know how it looks, but he likes it.
Thank you, Vashek.
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
So I don't think I can handle that horse.
Ha! Need some help then, do you?
Well, yes.
Try asking Vashek. For some reason, that devil horse listens to him. Then take the horse.
What is it?
So, boy, want me to sing? You're definitely the first horse I've ever serenaded. Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May, graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to my maiden so fair? Well, you still gonna throw me off?
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care? Ask.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait, are you saying he... Jesus!
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
That's all. Thank you.
Are you serious?
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
As far as I know, he had nobody at all in this world.
That's all. Thank you.
Good health to you, sir.
What is it? Watch where you're going.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed there is. Just last night, Father Godwin was here, calling fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either. Oh, and another thing. Around here, you should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Nothing out of the ordinary, praise God.
Coming.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father. The blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
A tankard of ale for me.
It was. But I really don't like to talk about it.
I understand. I'm sorry. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
You think I'm too young for the job, Father?
I do, to tell the truth.
Well, I can only apologise for my lack of grey hair and gout.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noel? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
It doesn't matter what happened there. The important thing is, a witness who could have led me further is nailed to a wall, and the only person who knows what he knew refuses to tell me.
You could put it that way, but I don't think you're being entirely fair, my son.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home.
Well, lad, I think we'd better leave it for another occasion. You're apparently not in good humor, and I must admit, neither am I. I feel the lure of my bed.
What? You dragged me here, and now you won't tell me anything.
I'm a little weary, I'm afraid. I believe it's time for me to take my bed. I'm sorry we couldn't find common ground. Good night, son.
So you won't help me out with that secret?
No, I won't.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who'll stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Ujet's women to witchery.
Tankard here.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Consider it done.
I'll fetch it right.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods.
Here.
To
The
good
best
neighbor.
of health.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course, ask away.
That's all. Thank you.
Over here. I'd like to order.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but ask if you must.
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
You could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of his way.
That's all. Thank you.
God bless. I've only got 2 hands.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Ask away.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
The only thing seemed suspicious was how a rogue like him suddenly started going to church. Now I see why, of course.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
He was always a loner. Except lately, he started talking to the parish priest, of all people.
That's all. Thank you. I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating...
Ask all you want, lad.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Everything about him was suspicious. I always gave him a wide berth.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
How would I know?
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or friends?
I don't know, since I don't go to alehouses.
That's all. Thank you.
What are you doing?
My respects to you.
Day.
I'd like to learn to read.
At this time of day? Are you right in the head? Come back tomorrow morning.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course. Ask away.
That's all. Thank you.
What in the name? Where are you sticking your fingers? I see a thief! Guard! Help! Arrest that thief! Guard! Guard! Come here quick! There's a thief over there! Help! Arrest that thief! I see a thief! Guard!
You! Stop right where you are! Surrender! You've committed a violation. You're under arrest.
Ah, kurwa!
You were seen stealing. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a nice pile of coin to fix it.
Damn!
Are you pulling my pizzle? Don't you know who I am? You better watch your step, or I'll make things so hot for you, you'll be lucky to get a job slopping out piss pots.
But I was just... You misunderstood me. Sorry. You can go. I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Stay, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
God save Henry.
You told me you'd teach me something useful.
Aye, and I keep my word.
How are you doing?
Good, good. No one's trying to cut my throat, and I've got a proper roof over my head again.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Sometimes, when I go to the courtyard at night, and there's a sudden movement or sound, it makes me jump, but it's just a memory.
Henry, I'm glad you came. Good day to you.
Let's fight.
I hope you've got coin this time. I won't fight you for your labour, understand?
I can't fight just now. Jesus Christ be praised.
I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Maybe another time. I'd like to train a bit, just lightly, with
practice weapons.
Right. Let's get to it. What weapon would you like to try? Got a bastard sword, a short sword? We can fight with poles. Whatever you fancy.
I'll try the mace, the armor smasher. I'm just on its own.
Right, lad. Grab your piece. We'll get stuck in.
Oh dear, did that hurt? I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, yeah.
You know how this one ends. No! Curse it! You'll pay for that.
Do picie. Help.
You call that combat? Come and get it.
Da prendeva.
Bollocks. Show what you're made of. Missed. started! What am I fix? You'll get. Bugger! And your history. Oh, yeah. Shit! Now. Oh dear, did that hurt? All right, all right. Yeah. Do picie.
sod off.
sucker. It's hellishly deep here. I better not go any further. I might drown.
Jesus, not as shallow as it looks.
Oh.
I can't go any further. The current could sweep me to my death.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
What the hell?
He just needs to sleep. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. I've been sent here from Talmberg. I'm to speak with the one responsible for construction.
That'd be the master builder. Or with our brother, the overseer. What matter is it you're here about?
It has to do with the stone for construction.
Ah, then that's a matter of supply. You'll want to talk to the overseer. He knows more about that sort of thing. His study's right above us, more or less. Go up the steps to the left and then head back in this direction, almost the whole way.
Can I take a look inside the monastery?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery belong to the monks of the Order of Saint Benedict. No others shall pass. Good day to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Divish. I'd like to have a look around the spot where the accident happened.
And why is Sir Divish interested in that regrettable accident?
He'd like to know what role the masonry had in it, or at least its quality.
I guess it played a crucial role, but I don't intend to stand in the way of your investigation. I've already made sure the poor man was well taken care of, and that's enough for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. They sent you a letter from Talmberg.
Really? Hand it over then.
Oh no, I'm not the messenger. They sent it earlier.
And it still hasn't arrived? It depends on who the letter was passed on to, but I'm sure it will find its way here in the end.
Who's in charge of purchasing materials for the construction?
Mainly it's me. I pay the fees and make arrangements for delivery, but those in charge of the actual building take care of the rest. I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to the quality of stone. They had the red stone delivered from a long way off.
They take care of storage as well?
Yes, but usually whatever arrives is used up straight away. The construction is in full progress.
Do you remember when they brought the last delivery of stone?
Yes. It rained a lot that week, so they let the carriage sit right outside of the gate on the other side of the wall. It took some time before it was dry enough for further transport.
And there wasn't anything strange about it?
A little strange, I suppose. Usually they bring us a large block of stone, which the builders cut to size. But this time it was a number of smaller pieces. No one complained. They probably saw it as less work.
I heard that you were late with your payment to the Talmberg quarry.
That's true. We ourselves had late payments, and it took some time before we gathered enough money to pay. But that's happened in the past.
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
The Lady of Talmberg sent me. She wants me to find out why the crown's been delayed.
Through no fault of ours, I can tell you that. We had a large stone ordered for mounting on the crown, a beautiful Moldavite from South Bohemia that we had cut and polished in Prague. But, well, in short, the good merchant, Martin Wieseck, who was supposed to bring it from Prague, got lost along the way. It's like the ground swallowed him up.
Lady Stephanie won't be happy.
Look, we've got something else here we can replace the stone with, but I'm sure even you can see it's not worthy of a noble wedding, and definitely not worthy of our fine craftsmanship. Oh, if I only had someone who'd try to find the Moldavite.
Why don't you just ask me? Of course I'll try to find the stone. Just tell me where the fellow was seen last.
That fellow, as you call him, the esteemed merchant, Martin Wieseck, was last seen riding alongside the Sassau River, passing by the footbridge over the ford, to the west of here. Evidently, he never made it to Sassau town.
Well, I'll look for him, but he could be far over the mountains by now. Or under the ground.
What's that?
What was that? Hey, who's there?
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you? Raise the alarm! Watch out! Get over here!
All right, you win. I surrender. Yeah.
Over here! Where is it? I'll chop you to pieces, you rat!
Arrête prendere.
Shit! Oh dear, did that hurt? God damn!
Hey! What are you doing there?
What in the name of God are you doing, poacher?
What the hell are you talking about?
I saw you butchering the carcass.
I was finding out what happened here, so I could report it.
Good. All right. I suppose you're innocent after all.
I'm glad you saw sense. And what were you doing here exactly?
What do you mean by that?
I could drag you off to Rattay myself and let the bailiff decide.
All right then. I did it. I needed food. They killed my man, burned the house down. I have no food for me or the child. You don't really have to tell anyone, do you? And you won't regret it.
Hey!
Mind out. Something will fall on you if you don't move.
If you're not working here, clear off.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
The Overseer sent me. You're to show me the place where the accident happened.
Like I've got time to spare to show you round. He should have done it himself. Why do you want to know, anyway?
Because of the Talmberg stone. If they really are delivering poor quality material, then there should be consequences.
I'd be interested in what kind. But I'm guessing the Overseer likes the idea of cheaper stone, right?
And have you noticed anything else going on?
Of course. It's a construction site. Things are always going wrong. The men are always complaining and the work isn't being done fast enough.
So it's just like any other building work?
Essentially, yes. Occasionally someone brings in bad wood or a man cuts off his thumb and blames it on a bad omen. And then there's all these rumors going round.
I'd be interested to know what the men talk about.
Who's been stealing, which men from the monastery go to visit women, how the work's going, normal things. It's only the talk about the curse that's not in the normal run of things. And then there's that devil's skull they dug up.
You talked about the Devil's Skull.
I did. They say it was found in the hole dug for the foundation of the scaffolding. They moved it so it would do its harm elsewhere. But I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know.
And who might know more?
Shouldn't you be investigating the stone? Leszek's in charge of the scaffolding, so ask him if you really have to know. He might tell you something.
Who's stealing? Could someone be stealing the stone?
According to the rumors, everyone, from the abbot and the custodian down to the lowest laborer. It's like with whores and dice. There's no protection against slander. And something gets lost here and there, that's true. But nobody stole any stone. There wouldn't be any left if every man here started helping himself, would there?
Where's the scene of the accident?
It didn't happen on the main site. It was at the outbuilding next to the church, right under the long stairs before the entrance door. Ask my assistant who's in charge there. You'll easily recognize him. He dresses up like he owns the place. Let's hope we have enough.
The stone fell on him here. You can still see the marks. There's even more of the bad stone up here. I hope the rest of it won't be falling on people's heads too.
This has to be the stone that hit him. I'll take a piece of it. Maybe someone will recognize it.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I heard you found something.
It's true. I dug it up during work. I then ran away with it and got rid of it so the others wouldn't see. But rumours spread anyway.
And what was it that nobody was supposed to see?
What do you think? A demon skull.
Here, on holy ground, in the middle of the monastery.
But it was outside the monastery walls.
Where exactly? Is there anything else there worth seeing?
Nothing but scaffolding. We started digging there to set foundations for extending it.
And are you sure it was a devil's skull?
I know what I saw. I can recognize a human skull. And this one had horns. Like the devil, besides. The thing gave off a diabolical stink.
And where is it now? What did you do with it?
I was taking it down to the river to throw it in. Only I dropped it at the top of the slope and it rolled downhill. The devil alone knows where it ended up.
I'll see if I can find it.
Can I take a look inside the monastery?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery belong to the monks of the Order of Saint Benedict. No others shall pass.
What the hell?
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help.
What does he want here? Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
What the hell are you doing?
What are the...
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? Oh God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian can set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Huh? Damn. Why are you waking me?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some. I'm not needed here. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka.
Hey! What the hell?
Watch where you're going.
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God. There has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. You're friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction worker's bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you?
What the hell are you doing? What are you doing?
Are you holding him firmly?
Aye.
Done. He just needs to sleep. Everything here is fine.
Yeah. Shit. What's going on?
Hopefully I have what you need.
No. This doesn't look like what the hag gave us that time.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
I'm not needed here. You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this, I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a
God save
look.
Henry.
However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world. And the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. Can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm ashamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
Of course, like the back of my hand.
You don't look the part, but if you say so. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. How do I know which are the weeds?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
How can I tell them apart?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dan...
I see. And who are you?
Brother Elias.
What do you do here?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
How long have you been helping here?
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case someone takes a turn for the worse. Sometimes I have to hold a patient down, or fetch and carry things.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
Thank you.
Henry, I'm glad you stopped by. Good health to you, Henry.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned...
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
Hey, look out! Doesn't even know how to apologize.
Huh? What do you want?
I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
Yeah, a long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then. Shit. What's going on?
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Damn!
What do you want?
I see you look much better.
No, I feel much better. Then I heard it was all down to you. Thank you. If you ever need to know about anything that's going on in Sasau, come and see me. There's nothing much happens here without my knowledge. Thomas is my name.
Damn!
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
Not a leaf wasted.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm going to check with my own eyes.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. Were you satisfied with my weeding?
You said it was finished, but I took a look at it. Is that what you call a finished job? Try again and do better. That simply isn't good enough.
Be a bit more careful.
Can you tell me something about the poor wretch with the broken head?
Yadek, he was a decent person. You could rely on him. He was honest, went to church. Why do you want to know?
Did he have any enemies? Somebody who would want to...
Kill him? You think someone threw that stone block on his head? If you're looking for the culprit, then have a look at the stone.
Where were you when it happened?
I'm not even sure. Somewhere else. I ran over when I heard the screaming, and they were already taking him away.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
No, I didn't. These things happen with great building works. It wasn't the first time, and God forgive me for saying it, but it won't be the last.
Who's in charge of the place where the accident happened?
Me. I watch over everything here, and when necessary, I go to see my master. He is kept busy enough with the construction of the church.
And are you responsible for checking the stone?
Yes. We tested what load they could handle and how much they crumbled during dressing. But some of them must have been more weathered than we thought.
Hey!
I hope they leave soon. Another one that's going to be taking food out of our mouths.
It's done.
Did you weed the beds and leave what should be growing there alone?
I may have picked a couple of the other plants by mistake.
If it's only a couple, there's no harm done. I'm going to check with my own eyes.
Jesus, another one. Just for a while, he says. To help your neighbours, he says.
Were you satisfied with my weeding?
It wasn't the best work I've ever seen, but you pulled up more weeds than herbs, so you deserve a reward.
What the hell are you doing?
Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot? What do you say to this?
More.
Agreed. Now listen up.